What do we got? 3 lurkers. Three lurkers. One of them who's changed his name. Otherwise, wouldn't be in the chat with a wrench. So you can either tell me what your original name was, or I'll just remove the wrench and deal with it that way. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I haven't given a Mactan Mark a wrench. So obviously in your account, you've got another name in which I've given that person a wrench, which is why you've got one here right now. Now, who else is it that types and ends up getting an echo when they type? Fresh start. I'm not so sure it's a fresh start when you play stupid. We've got still a couple of other lurkers sitting there. Wasn't going to do a stream, but seeing I was up so late and slept most of the day and couldn't get motivated to do anything for the rest of the day. Yeah, Ed, someone's trolling. As I said, I've never seen the name. Well, it's not the trouble I'm interested in. It's the fact that I want to know who the hell you really are. Oh, no, Ed, you don't troll. And just for the record, I don't consider you a pervert either. Okay, let's go. I'll put it in quickly, Ed. I mean, I know guys will copy and paste the bloody thing anyway, or copy it. But I'm not going to put up with any shit and anyone jumping on the stream or on the panel without asking first. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on both screens now, which is fine. How you doing, Ed? Okay, no, you're not muted.
Yeah. Hey, Google did type that last night, though. That's how it's getting on the
Actually, I'm not. I've never seen him type it, or I'm not sure he even said it. I believe Mexican Jew may have.
No, Mexican Jew didn't do it. It was Google, but I seen when he typed it in.
Because
When he
I was
turned
pretty
it
sure
down,
it
I
was
saw.
MJ. Hey,
No.
hey there, WAE.
No, it wasn't MJ at all. He didn't say that.
Um, you might want to go
I'll
back
tell you,
and watch
you
it.
went. I did. I went back through and read it. You let your show go too far last night, buddy. That's everything you're against went on in your show last night.
But you got to remember, I was bloody sleeping, and I went to sleep, left the stream on for him.
Like it wasn't too bad. I tell you, it wasn't too bad. Like the bitter and batter wasn't too bad. But the F this, F that, F this, F that. That's what was
Oh
really
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the bad part.
yeah. I'm not big on all the swearing.
Yeah,
I
like
have to have
so. Yeah, but going back and forth, that's natural. You can do that. That's just natural. And it was strictly going back and forth. But when the F you, F you, F this, F that, that's just wrong.
Yeah, and I know Andy swears a little bit too. I'm going to have to get him to relax himself, and but that's why I named this the merry-go-round, because that's all that's fucking. Whoops, there you go. There's the F word straight away. But that's all that's happening.
Well, they're
It's
okay.
just,
Yeah, they're okay once in a while. It's just with every other thing.
yeah.
Like think of FUs. Like I fuck off once in a while, but it's just when it was the way it was going last night was every other word.
I know, and as I said, I called this the merry-go-round because I'm just sick of this rubbish, mate. It's gone. You know, you think, okay, you let them get on, let them talk to each other, let them shout at each other, whatever, and they'd get it out of their system.
Yeah,
But it's not.
it doesn't
You know,
stay there. It's just
and whether they like it or not, there is this guilty by association. Obviously, guys don't like Focus because he's friends with Barry and has helped Barry, but that's his business. You know, that's not. I mean, I don't. You know yourself. I got no time for Barry anymore, but I don't hold that against Focus. Now, MJ's a shit stirrer. I mean, that's all he is. Half the time he'll talk shit just to get you to react. He's not that bad a guy.
MJ is a good guy, but that's what he did. He got the Focus to react,
And
he caught Focus. He got him to react, and
yeah,
that's what that was. But I'll tell you where Focus was wrong. He had no reason to come after Popeye. He had no reason at all to jump on Popeye last night.
yeah. Well, I didn't hear Popeye say anything towards
Well,
him.
Popeye didn't say a word towards him.
Actually,
Popeye
Popeye was pretty polite about it all, I thought. You know, he asked if he could come on, so I put the hey, how you doing, Lost? So I let him on, and he was actually thankful.
Going.
Hey,
I want you to take a wrench away because somebody's going.
what do you mean? I can't.
Going. Mac Denmark. I want you to get rid of them.
Do you?
Yep, get rid of them.
What happened?
Get rid of them, and I'll tell you. And I said, get rid of them.
Hang on, I'll remove him as moderator. Yeah, I took his wrench off him. I'm not sure what you've seen, but I trust you, Ed. So
his last comment. That's my home.
What's your home?
But he said the last thing.
Oh, I don't want to say it then, but
that's my home. He is.
Well, I thought it was funny when he said.
When he said what? I'm sorry.
Called himself Mactan Mark, but he just said things escalate. You know, like things get worse.
Get rid of him. He's I think I know who it is. I think he's a troll, a big troll.
Well, put it this way: whoever he is has come under another name because he had a wrench, so he's obviously got the wrench under a different name.
Yep.
So I'm not sure. Yeah, Lost. I don't know what's going on, but how you doing, MJ?
If you want to unhide him, you could unhide him, but I hit him. If you want to do it, it's up to you. But I think I know who it is. I think he's a big troll.
Well, I trust you, Ed. So done now, anyway.
And here comes the Jew. Hey, Jew, did you go to mass this morning? I asked you that twice. You better have went to mass this morning. So, unbelievable. So, what did you do all day today?
Not much, mate. I just couldn't get motivated because I was just so because I didn't get to bed till about 5. That's when I left, and when I got up late in the day, it was like I think 12:40 or something like that, and just those hours that. No, I don't want yours lost. How you doing,
Got
go-go
mine.
hopping?
I got mine.
Why would I want yours lost?
You can take mine.
I know you always want yours gone.
See, me and Junior have it. Either you get rid of every wrench and just have me and Junior, or you take me and Junior's. The Juniors agree with this.
You want to jump on Lost? I seen. I mean, I tried to watch a bit of the replay in that today. Oh, gee, what's his rich? Yeah, MJ, I don't have an issue with you, but I'm not stupid. You're not going to be nice. I mean, I don't have a problem with you being a shit stirrer, but you do push people's buttons. Probably sometimes go too far.
Where you going, Nomad? Man, I still don't understand this echo I get in my headset. I don't.
I've heard it sometimes. I'm not sure what does it.
It's not an echo. It's just I hear myself talk.
I mean, it could be a bug in Google Hangouts. You never know.
No, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Wherever I use this, wherever I talk. Even though I talk to my daughter on, if I'm on Facebook and I'm doing a chat with my daughter on Facebook, I still hear myself talk. I don't know what it is. Something in my system. I went through all the microphone settings, all those settings, and I just can't figure it out why it is.
MJ, I'm not. Sometimes what you take for yelling, I think it's just him being emotional, and that's how he is.
And the cursing, when he gets emotional, he starts cursing too. So that's him. But the cursing should not be it. I can see your voice rising when you get emotional. But the fu, that's not.
Yeah, fair
That's him.
enough. Yeah. Look, I sort of wince when I hear it said too many times myself.
Yeah. Like the voice going up, I can see that. When I get anxious, my voice go up, we will start, but it's not, I'll never
Yeah,
F you, blah, 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 blah. That's the wrong part right there.
yeah, but yeah, that's right. When you get that emotional, whatever, yeah.
Your voice might go up, but you don't need a language. You don't need that language.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but there's not just one person. There's probably a few of us that need to relax what we say.
Yeah. But he had no reason to go after Popeye. He had no reason at all trying to jump on. Popeye is wise like that. Popeye could have stayed and jumped in his shit, but Popeye just left.
Well, he was
You
very
know,
polite. Like I said, he asked if he could
yes,
come
well,
on. He was thankful that he got the time on there. And Ed, I don't really I've never had an issue with Popeye, really.
no, Popeye likes the show. We were talking today. And Popeye likes the show. And he was even surprised. He says, like I'll do what Popeye came on. He just broke things down with what was going on. And all of a sudden, boom, like he just started jumping right on him. And that's Popeye could have, Popeye was big enough, he just left.
We got an intruder here too.
Boom!
Yeah.
Lost the Nomad in the house. I gotta introduce myself as myself, like the rappers do.
Where are you driving to, Lost Nomad? Where are you going?
I'm headed to work. I gotta go pick up some material, then I gotta drive back to my job. So I gotta make a kind of a long distance trip. The shit's out of my way, but I couldn't get it done yesterday, so it is what it is.
Gotta work to make a living, right? Got that 4-letter word.
Do you know?
Got
I'll
bills
be
to
honest.
pay.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't have to, but I'm missing work, and I have thought about going back, maybe just doing some casual stuff in construction or something like that. Because
Excuse me.
to be honest with you, because I'm stuck here at the moment, I'm bored shitless.
Okay, I don't
I,
miss work a bit. I don't miss it
I,
a bit.
no, I guess it's because it's you're out there doing something and spend time,
Yeah.
constructively. MJ, did he? I don't remember him doing that unless. No, no. When I went to when I crashed out, you'd had gone, so I don't remember that. I'd have to watch the early part of the
Yeah,
stream again.
I used my speech to text, and the por favor came out kind of weird. I don't know if that's some kind of French por favor, but that's what happened there.
Seen that. Por favor.
After I hit send, I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "I should have like proofread that," but I'm driving, so it was what it was. It is what it is. You're here because I'm there.
I tell you what, I did see, and I'm going to have to put this as one of the rules in that is if you're going to talk in the chat, keep it to English, because to me,
Sounds like
my father could speak a couple of different languages, but he always told me that it was always impolite, if not even rude, to speak another language in front of people if they couldn't understand what you're saying.
well, you do that every day.
Up yours.
Well, just to make sure the new rule is implemented, from now on, I will type Spanish into the chat.
No worries.
I'm going to type
I don't.
Filipino in it. I'm going to type.
MJ,
I'm
I
going to
don't.
start typing Basayan in the chat.
Well, I don't think it's being racist at all, MJ. It was just a good manners thing that if you have a room full of people that speak English and there's two of you that can speak English and in another language, to start speaking another language in front of other people. I'm not so sure that.
That's
No,
not racist.
I think he's there's sarcasm chat. I think he was. So I came in on the discussion yesterday when it was pretty heated, talking about the racism thing, and I'm pretty sure that was a little sly at the racist
Oh,
retardedness that was getting slung around yesterday.
yeah, no, MJ, I'm not. Don't. Please don't twist what I'm saying. I mean, you're smart, but you're not that smart. All right. I mean, you and Gogo are very similar in the way you handle things. Yeah, go hopping. I think it's a little rude too. What I'm saying is, if we're all here and we can all speak English, then speak English. How you doing, Gypsy? Gerardo Risotto, you had to, didn't you? You smart
Gypsy
ass.
Jaywalker's here.
Yeah, Gypsy's in the chat.
What's up? Been a while.
Geraldo, what can you, how do you say? No, I do not understand Japanese. What can you
I,
say?
I was honestly hoping that the guys would get it all out of their system, but it didn't do no good whatsoever. Yeah, Gypsy just said long time lost.
Wakarimasen, nihongo desu ka? Wakarimasen. Wakarimasen.
Gypsy, $5. Love me long time.
Gogo shouldn't be blocked, no.
No, he shouldn't be blocked.
He was there yesterday and typing in the chat yesterday. And I mean, unless I didn't see anyone, I mean, I watched bits of the end of the show, which I missed a few hours of it, but I couldn't see anyone getting blocked.
Oh, arigato.
Yeah, Lost is a good guy, Gypsy Jaywalk. I think me and
Don't
Lost
be telling lies about me. All right, I'm evil.
Yeah, Gypsy, I've pretty well got along with him from the start. There's a few people that you meet that you just sort of click and you can Lost is one of those. Although we've only really started catching up again lately. We used to see each other a little bit months ago, and then you sort of disappeared for a while, lost.
I got work, family stuff.
The only way Gogo, he should be able to come on. Like the only person that can really
No,
block him from the show um is the anchor. He's the only who can block him from the show.
no, that's not true. Mods can hide people as well. But if
Does GoGo have
BK
a wrench?
no, and if BK had done it, people would have noticed and said something. You hate the word no. Well, what can I say, MJ? No means no. I think I've heard Ed say Okinawa before.
I know.
Were you stationed in Okinawa?
Not stationed. I've been there a lot. But I was stationed
Yeah.
up in the mainland, up in Yokota.
What was it called?
Yokota Air Force Base, up in
All right.
Fusashi, outside of Tokyo. But
You passed that on Sunday. Okay, no worries, Gypsy. So the only way, if he was hidden, unless he was hidden under a different name, but I didn't see anyone get hidden yesterday, so I'm not sure how he ends
Yeah,
up blocked all the time.
sometimes the chat move along pretty fast, and you can't see when someone actually does it.
Yeah, that's
You don't pay
true
attention
too.
to it.
would that be
But
blocked in
you,
this room though? Like say
but
you blocked a person from another room. Would he be blocked in this room?
no, nah.
You would have to you'd have to do it on the personal thing, like through Google or something like that.
I'd have to go to his own page and do something like that.
Oh,
Then I wouldn't see what he said at all. So I'm not really sure
I'm not
how he
positive.
would.
Geraldo
I don't even know.
Sasebo is on Navy base. I was up at Yokota, right outside of Tokyo.
Japan is Osaka. That's where I was. I can still remember the hotel was not far from the airport, but it was like on the edge of a like an industrial area. And we were walking around there at night, and you'd hardly see anybody in the industrial part anyway. I'd love to get back there though.
I like Japan. I was there 4 years. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Oh, how you doing, Ian?
Lost his meter. There's Gogo. He didn't get blocked.
Yeah. That's what I couldn't believe. Gypsy, immaculate. You don't see jack shit on the streets. How did I know you were going to turn up, you little turd?
Well, at least I know how to turn up. I mute myself and let you continue speaking, but certain other people, like Popeye, they just come on and start speaking as if it's their channel.
No, hang on. No, don't say that, because Popeye asked in the chat if he could come on, and I put the link in for him, and he was actually very, very polite about it all. And I actually got 2 screens up, so I seen your little green head pop up in there.
And Ed, you're so naughty trying to scare me up.
Drop it. Gogo, drop it. Drop it. It's forgetting. It's forgotten. Drop it. I don't want to discuss it. It's forgotten. Drop it.
Forgiven but not forgotten.
Keep it up. I don't give a damn what you say, buddy. But for you, it's forgotten. So knock it.
No, Gerardo, that's. I don't think that's true at all. Yeah, I never got to see Tokyo. I was only in Osaka. And that wasn't for all that long, but Man, just everything, even like the hotels were immaculate, and I remember, the guys and the women at the reception at the hotel, their English wasn't the best, which surprised me. I would have thought that working in that sort of industry, their English would have been better, but it wasn't all that good. But man, they were so polite and bend over backwards for you. But
Oh yeah, that's what you liked about it.
oh God. What's this? Graham and Popeye sounded great yesterday morning for his takedown of MJ. Well, I don't think Dave took him down. I mean, Dave had his say.
Jab. He was trying to jab. He was trying to jab him.
Oh look, Dave had his say. MJ had his say. Yeah, I mean, I was just hoping that everyone would get it out of their system, and by the end of it, it'd be over. Look, Ian, I don't think it was so much that he was losing his temper, just very emotional.
I'll give you my 2 cents on it here, even though I did come into it kind of late. Obviously, MJ was pushing the buttons of focus, in my opinion, and in that way he succeeded. Getting to me, I know you want to defend Focus and say he wasn't getting mad or riled up, but to me, his voice, he obviously was.
And his cussing was obviously.
Yeah, when you're getting upset when F-bombs are being dropped on a more frequent note. Yeah. I don't know where, and then someone don't have all like David or old Ocker kept bringing up. I know MJ and him got something going on. I have no idea what it is, but it was really hilarious. I kept bringing up he's got a son. Oh, you got a son. What about your son? And MJ don't have a kid, and he wanted to bring up his Facebook stuff. I mean, you can have pictures with children and them not be your personal child. And I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Thunder, I'm still blocked in the chat.
Good. Oh. We should block you here and shut your pie hole, green boy.
I'll have to have a look later. Just, I want to address Gerardo. The Japanese are polite, but believe me, they're indifferent to foreigners. I believe you're correct when you talk about the older generation. I mean, even though I was there quite a long time ago now, I did find that with the middle-aged, because I was fairly young then, but the middle-aged guys and older people, yeah. But I did come across a couple that were in their 20s, a young lad it was funny, he had different colours in his hair and was playing a mouth organ on a bus. But he was really friendly and very different. But to the regulars, yeah, I think they were. And yeah, go-go hopping, there is some racism. I've heard that they didn't want people living there on a permanent basis due to they didn't want their race diluted. So maybe they are. You lived there 14 years.
And would you believe the Japanese will not let a Muslim in that country?
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, well, when I was there, MJ, they had actual bars, Gaijin bars that you go to. And some of them you did actually get some nice little Japanese women in there that were looking for foreigners.
Did I run Go-Go off? I was only joking about the pie hole comment.
How does he bust in? Does he have your links?
I stayed in China for 10 years. Well, Go-Go's got experience here, go-go hopping. Where I stayed, they really liked white foreigners, but were racist towards non-whites. Yeah, I don't know why that is, go-go hopping. I'm not sure. But, I mean, you and Gypsy would be the two to talk about China.
You know, I've been to some kind of more remote areas of the world where they don't have very many interaction with foreigners, let alone, like, say, darker skinned people, you know, like African Americans or Africans or even Mideastern Indian type people, and it's not. I would say it's not necessarily that they're racist. They have this almost like belief that they kind of almost don't exist, or they only hear about them in stories and stuff. So they, I mean, I literally had them say before they're kind of scary looking to them. So I don't necessarily know if that's racist or it's just that they have no knowledge or personal understanding of it.
I'm going to remove that, MJ. Sorry. I'm going to remove that one too. Just remember, you don't have a wrench there, mate. So if you get someone like Junior coming in here and he sees you doing that, he's going to take you out pretty quick. I was seeing something here that, they don't want to deal with foreigners because of the language barrier, mostly not being able to understand with their loads of rules. I think it's more a cultural thing. I found with the language, Gerardo, and if you've lived there long enough, you know, a lot of the times, and this was what the young Japanese lad Tommy, is that they're embarrassed that they can't speak English. So if you approach them, and at that stage they were running away from me, when I go up to ask him a question, and he specified to me that a lot of times they do that is because they're embarrassed by the fact that they can't speak English.
It's like that over here too. A lot of Filipinos are afraid of foreigners because they're embarrassed because they can't speak with them.
Yeah, the darky whitey thing, I don't want to see it, MJ. All right. Yeah, I know it's about the shame, but there's definitely some embarrassment there, Gerardo. That's what I was told by the Japanese lad anyway when we spent some time together with him and his missus.
Yeah, it's the same way in the Philippines too, though. A lot of Filipinos are embarrassed, ashamed, because they can't speak English.
Yeah, but I think there's more in Japan. It's a deep-rooted thing. I'm not sure what the right words to use.
You'll see that in the States with some Japanese people, how they are very, I mean, I don't necessarily want to use the word racist, but I don't know how else to explain it. Like, and I was in California, went to a Japanese restaurant. It was a very Japanese kind of area. And there was three of us, three white dudes. And the lady came up and said, "We don't serve your kind."
What the hell?
Yep, I'm not kidding.
It wasn't racism. It's just that they. I wouldn't call it racism. I thought because they're embarrassed. They're ashamed because they don't know how to.
No. When you say something like that,
no, that's not. You're not being embarrassed at that point. Yeah, that's being rude, if nothing else.
Because if it was anything else but racism, the Japanese, I mean, they're very polite. So if they were that in your face and being rude, mate, I mean, that's just racist.
Well, when it comes to business, hey, when it comes to any business, they have the right to refusal.
Yeah, they do. And we didn't get all upset. We just turned like, hey, they don't want our money. Too bad. We're out of here.
That's it. Just go someplace else.
Yeah.
Like if I have a business, you come in. If I don't want to serve you, I'll say get the hell out.
Well, to me, it's bad business. Serve everyone. You don't. Why throw?
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Why put money away?
Yeah.
I totally agree. If I had a restaurant, I wouldn't want to turn anybody away. I want to make as much money as I can.
Yeah.
But we come to find out it was a kind of like all inclusive type Japanese place, and apparently they had a little extra activity that would go on in the nighttime hours with Japanese ladies or something, like some kind of prostitution type thing. But never found if that was completely true, but that's what I kind of heard afterwards.
MJ just said, "Hey, Lost, I made $500 today on Litecoin." Laugh out loud.
Did it shoot up today? Man, I haven't been keeping up. Yeah, I'll send you a message later, or jump in the chat. Well, I don't know, maybe they don't want to hear us talk about cryptocurrency.
Well, I was hoping to address all this bullshit, and like I said, it's a merry-go-round, and I'm just tired of it, man. Like if you guys can't settle it, just go your separate ways, you know. Yeah, Gypsy, I don't think he was talking about that place being in Japan. I think he was saying it was in California, didn't you, Lost?
Yeah, California was saying.
So
Yeah, correct. It was in California.
So it wasn't in Japan, so you must have misheard there, I think, Gypsy. I mean, Japanese wives are I mean, I've only ever met one couple here as an Australian guy married to a Japanese lady, and they were an older couple. She was 70, and no bullshit, she probably didn't look 50. Unbelievable.
And I bet
Unbelievable.
she walked a step behind him.
I don't really remember. I mean, I met them at a dinner at my in-laws. But
oh yeah, Litecoin shot up 11% since yesterday. Damn, I knew I should have bought some the other day.
Yeah, I should not Gypsy Mexican Jew. You can give me some advice. I got a few dollars to invest. I should be investing some.
And invite them on if you don't mind. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Cryptocurrency is a good thing. I this year I haven't done too good, but man, the year before was a really good year for me.
I went through nothing like that. I'm staying away from cryptocurrency.
No, well, Ed, I understand. I mean, that's probably maybe part of your age, but I understand that eventually, with the electronic age, cryptocurrency is going to become a bigger thing. How you doing, MJ?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, mate. Just
what's cracking? What's cracking, cracker?
What's cracking, you crackers? Yeah.
That I was trying to say yesterday. Why is it so? I was trying to get unfocused. Why is it so easy to use the word cracker, but everybody's afraid to say nigger? But you can, hey, you cracker, you.
Well, to me, I'll give you my.
What the hell is the difference?
I'll give you the view.
What the hell?
I'll give you my view is that the N-word to me is offensive because black people find it offensive. Now, the cracker, some people are going to be offended by the word cracker. Personally, I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm not that thin-skinned, you know, so.
Well, I hear. Well, I'll tell you, in the States, it can be like a derogatory term that non-white people use against white people.
That's right.
So y'all might not have that problem in Australia, but it will happen here.
Yeah, that's why.
Kind of rare.
To me, it's a derogatory term because a non-white person calls me a cracker.
Yeah, but I know.
If I call him a nigger, I'm completely wrong. He's right. There's nothing wrong with him calling me a cracker, but once I call him a nigger, hey, I'm like, whoa, I'm shit. What's the difference?
The thing is, we have to be careful, and MJ, I've got to sort of express this to you, is that we got to be careful because even though I might not take offense to it, YouTube may if someone else does.
But what did
I didn't know calling MJ a cracker was going to bring this about. My bad.
No, but then again, it's how you're saying it.
Well,
it is. Yeah, exactly. When you're using it in a derogatory way. Yeah, if I was mad at somebody and called him a cracker, obviously it's not used in a good way.
Well, I am a quarter cracker. I'm a quarter cracker though.
Put some butter on that thing already.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Look at that stupid comment in the chat by Ian F.
Which one is that? All of his comments are surreal. I can't see. Hey, Chicken Chucker, how you doing? Didn't see you there, mate. Sorry.
Hey, what's up, Pollo Loco? Pollo Loco.
What did he say? Read it out to me. I can't see it.
Go Bobo has a whole bunch of info on you, Mark. He was mining Andy for information. He was very sly about it.
Yeah, I heard, but Andy's a little bit smarter than that because I heard him tell Gogo he lived in an area which he doesn't live in.
Thunder, that's why I did it on live air while you were on the panel.
I wasn't there. I was asleep. I watched the
Well, I
replay of
don't
that
know
part.
if you're listening or not. It was just a joke, and people were trying to make us enemies.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way: you're safer where you are right now on the other side of the internet, mate. But yeah, the thing is, Gogo, when I started the channel, I did say that I'd let everyone on here, and then as long as they played by the rules, that I wouldn't ban them, and that has to class. I mean, I have to put you in that as well. So I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't want you on here.
Well, it's quite clear to me that people are very jealous that you're talking to me.
Maybe. I don't know why.
Who?
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're a sleazy little bastard. you, the questions you ask, you're always trying to lead things on into something bigger and better.
Hey, but yeah, Thunder, I was gonna tell you, I didn't say nothing bad. I mean, I said Darky and Whitey. What's wrong with that?
Well, some people might take offense to that. So
This is this a PC channel now? You running a
It
a
wasn't
liberal
PC
channel
last night.
now?
That's for
Or?
damn sure.
no, but I have to be careful because you get someone that doesn't like me, that doesn't like what gets said in the chat, and then they flag the bloody. I mean,
You could just start up a new channel. I
I'm not into that. I have one, all these guys have different accounts and that. I have one account, one name, and I'll stick to that. So what is this Litecoin? This Litecoin's new, is it?
No, it's an OG. It's been around. It's been around a long time.
So,
man, it did good last year, and it's starting to pull back up now too.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's still number one though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what I made a lot of money on too the last few weeks is BNB, man. Because BNB now the Binance, they're starting to come out with their bunch of like different coins that they're only coming out on their platform, man.
Yeah, they've been doing that one's been doing good.
Yeah, I got out of a position today, but yeah, I threw like 5,000 on a Litecoin last week, man. So well, not last week, it was about like 5 days ago. So, but
yeah, I bought a little bit when it dropped down to about 23ish or something like that, 24, I forget.
Well,
and I've been kind of just holding on to it. I've actually kind of been buying a little bit here and there and just kind of holding because I know it's going to rally again.
That $24?
Yeah. Like I got in on when I got in on a Litecoin this trade, I got in at $43, and I just got out today at $51.
Here's a question for you. Like, I did look a little bit into it, and I just noticed that the banks are starting to have their own Bitcoin. Would they be the ones to invest in now? The ones that are supported by the banks?
Well, no. Well, the only one that you're the one you're talking about is J.P. Morgan is coming out with their own cryptocurrency, but which is going to be completely. Me and you are not going to be able. It's not going to be something that we're going to be able to buy anyway.
Well, you have Ripple, which are bank. They have too many banks that are supporting it.
Yeah, you have Ripple, but I know he's talking about because you have J.P. Morgan, that Dylan guy. What's his name? Dylan, and they're coming out with their own cryptocurrency, but that's just going to be between them, so they could transfer money between banks. But that's I don't think anything that we're gonna like the public's gonna be holding. It's only gonna be backed by the dollar. It's only gonna be backed by the dollar. So
it's gonna be for laundering money.
Yeah, like that's centralized. Like people that are in the crypto market, they're not big on that centralized. That's why a lot of people don't like Ripple because it's centralized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about banks yesterday. You know how it's so hard to like transfer money between countries and bank to bank. Man, cryptocurrency makes it so easy. I can transfer my crypto to Colombia like zero problems, man.
Oh yeah, zero problems, man. Like if my brother needs help, like say I'm here right now and he's needed money for repairs on the property we own. Like a couple of weeks ago, I shot him $2,000 in crypto. And he got it quick. It's a lot easier. It's just a lot of people just need to they need to learn it, and from what I heard, they said something about Starbucks is going to be pretty soon. Going to be it's going to be a big thing. Starbucks is going to be accepting cryptocurrency now.
I'd be
That's
careful
big.
about any. I thought you were going to talk about investing in Starbucks because Starbucks pretty well failed here.
Oh no, but I'm saying they're going to be accepting cryptocurrency. That's big. That's very big. You know, that's it's starting to come around. I was telling guys on that new Samsung 10 phone. Now that they have a cryptocurrency wallet on the phones. You're gonna see every phone now. You're gonna see iPhones probably start coming out with them.
Yeah, that's going to change the game because all you're going to have to do is go up there with your phone and you can pay with your crypto. I won't have to use my card anymore, my crypto card or whatever shift.
Nope, not at
all. Which is going to go bye-bye anyway. I got like another month left on it.
On what? On what?
on my shift card. It only has like April 14th or 15th is when it actually quit. So I gotta.
Yeah, I know. BitPay.
Hey, Jason, how you doing? Gogo, you should be unblocked in the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, crypto, Jason, like it or love it, it's definitely going to be around. I mean, everything's going in the way of electronics, so you'd expect that crypto is going to be around for a long time to come.
Until the government gets its hands in it, and you'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're already getting their hands in it. They're realizing people are making a crap ton of money. Now you're supposed to report it. It's still easy to hide, though.
Yeah, that's true, Jason. We are at an early stage. Although I wish I'd got into Bitcoin when it first came out and it was cheap as shit. God, I'd be a millionaire now. Well, we lost Gogo and we lost MJ.
What's wrong? Mosquito bite?
Sounds like Officer Dribbles is coming.
Are you allergic to me?
MJ might have lost connection due to the Philippines, but I don't know. Gogo keeps popping in and out.
Yeah. Well, I unblocked him in the chat, so.
I very seldom lose connection. Very seldom do I lose connection.
Well,
no, you just take off without saying anything.
Yeah, normally I just disappear. That's what I am. I just disappear. I'm here 1 minute, I'm gone the next minute.
That's Gogo hopping. That would be lost. He's driving and on his way to work, and
actually, I'm loading up materials where I'm just throwing trash out. And
that's what he said. He said Gogo hopping said it sounds like they are bowling. That would have been the noise of you making in the background.
Yeah. Damn, it's cold today too, man.
Is it?
Oh, it was 25 degrees this morning.
It was 30 here. It was 30 degrees here.
93 dyno wide.
I ain't talking about Celsius at the moment.
Yeah, Jason, me too. You know what, Jason? My son was a little tacker. I'm pretty sure. And he was talking about it then. And I didn't take any notice because he was just so young. And
I'm going to stay away from that. I stay away from Bitcoin, Litecoin, whoever coin. Stay away from.
It's fine. I mean, people don't like the stock market. I mean, it's basically the start type of stock market, which I used to do prior to me doing crypto. I've never been heavy into any of it, but I realize there's potential to make money. I'm gonna take advantage of it.
I'll tell you, government bonds are good to buy. They're safe. You buy bonds, municipal bonds, government bonds. Those are safe. Those are normally safe.
I bought $50 in Bitcoin about a year ago, but didn't put it in a wallet until 6 months later. What's that mean?
means it's whatever exchange you bought it on, it still should be there. As long as you know your password and all that kind of information, you still should have access to it. So what you can do, it'd be like see if I can make an analogy here. You have a bank. Let's say you have $50 and you put it in the bank. You don't actually have the $50 with you. It's in the bank. So whatever exchange you're buying it off, the $50 is in the exchange. Now what you can do, you can get these electronic wallets. So what MJ was talking about a minute ago. Like Samsung's gonna have one built in, and it's got encryption and everything, so nobody can just get to it. What you do, you take all the money off the exchange, you take the money out of the bank, and you put it into your wallet. So you actually have it with you. And then you can move it to different exchanges and transfer it, yada yada.
Well, if it's in a wallet, you're not making anything on it then, right?
No, as long as it's going up and down. Like, if like right now it's worth about 3,800 or so. And let's say I just had one Bitcoin and I have it on my phone. I took it off the exchange, put it on my phone. And if it goes up to 10,000, I can put it back onto the exchange and sell it.
Hey, Gunnar, how you doing, mate? Gout. I knew a guy that had that. And he was a big drinker too, which made it worse. Not nice. Yeah, I guess what Tiv's saying, MJ, is that he'd put it on the exchange to get rid of it. So I'm going to have to read up on more on this and find out what's actually going on. You're back there, you little green. Did you try? You didn't? Oh yeah. Test tube baby test one. Oh shit, Gunner. Sorry to hear that, man. Oh, he gets it. I know that the one guy I knew with gout, drinking made it worse. Altcoins, I've never heard of that one, Jason. That's that's a new one to me. I don't block you, Go-Go. If I did, I'd just tell you straight out.
Altcoins is just cryptocurrency. It's another term for it, I guess. Alternative coins usually mean outside maybe the top, big cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I think the other thing might be sugar. Is it, Gunner? So I think that's why beer is bad for you, because of the sugar in it.
Sugar? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, gout's not nice.
I tremble on sugar.
It's just going to keep happening.
Well, I'm surprised if when it happens that someone doesn't actually see it happening. Because
Can I make a suggestion?
Oh, I know what you're going to suggest. That I'll give you a wrench.
Give me a wrench, but you can always take it away. But I think what's happening is people going back to old chats, then hiding me. And I think it's PK.
Look, you're the last person I really want to give a wrench to.
Because you're too lazy to click a button?
No, you already got it, you little dumb bastard. Eating too much meat. That's one. I didn't know that. I should have given Gypsy one too, but
I'm thinking of banning everything with sugar in from my house. I tell my wife today, no more sugar in this house. Every time I look at it, oh.
The only killer thing with that is, especially if you're diabetic, is that there's so much shit out there with natural sugar in it too.
I know. I'll tell you, my sugar for the last week, like normally I keep it pretty well under control. For the last week though, it has not went lower than 160. and that's high. That is high. And I can't get it down. For the last week, it's 160, and I've been really watching myself. And it's still sitting there. It's not going lower.
Well, there's something there, Gogo. WAE just said you can't go back to old chats and block. So I'm not sure, unless you're coming in under other names. And I mean, the only person that got blocked today was that Macton Mark. If that was you under a different name, then
Then
No,
on the
it's
same
wasn't me.
account.
There's lots of funny things you can do with these platforms. Like, if I was to download 1.0, I could come, which is the older version of Hangouts Thunder, I could actually come onto your Hangouts and you can't actually block me or kick me off because you won't have the control, because the older software allows you to set your status to invisible.
Gee, I take
Ah.
1,000. I take 1,000 of metamorphin every day, twice a day. 1,000 in the morning and 1,000 at night. And the thing here, you only can get it in 500. That what pisses me off.
Chicken Chugger, the guy earlier, I removed his wrench, and then Ed got rid of him. I'm not sure, Ed. I didn't question too much, but that was Ed's choice, and I trust Ed.
Okay, well that's not me. You should give Gypsy a wrench too, because he'll probably be next on the chopping block.
Yeah, metformin is a metamorphin. Yeah, metformin is the main medicine for diabetics. I take that and I take Genolo. I take both of them.
I guess all of us getting up there in age have to start worrying about. But thankfully, especially the last 3 years where I've fucking lost a lot of weight anyway and was fucking running like a dickhead. So if anything, now I want to put weight back on.
Watch it though.
I've seen you today, Mexican Jew. Man, I mean, you've really got to get your technique of throwing those punches and get some more of that body weight into them. I mean, well, getting some power into them. But I mean, it sounded all right because you got the weight behind you, but you're fucking slow as a wet week. So you want to build up that speed. And the other thing too, things got to become natural to you. At the moment, when I've seen the guy call the shots, it was like you were actually thinking about throwing the punches before you were throwing them, which made it like your reaction time was down a lot. Well, I hope, man. That crazy Cajun, mate. Fucking hell.
Oh, Gogo got a wrench. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Gogo's got one.
Gogo wrench.
I think extortion is okay as long as it's in small doses.
Extortion. No, extortion's never good.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
You know, there's certain. I mean, I'm not an angel by a fucking long shot, but there's certain things that I grew up that I've never done, and you know, stealing is one of them. The extortion thing to me, I mean, I've fucking seen so much of that, and it was not something I could do myself. No worries, MJ. He's just saying his internet's bad and he's on load, so he won't be jumping on guys.
Okay, just don't ask me for 20 pesos, Julie.
Joe, do you have a pocket Wi-Fi?
I mean, that's still pretty cheap, I guess. I mean, not for the locals. I mean, it'd get expensive, but 20 pesos for a load or whatever.
I gotta
What's
figure
that?
out how.
50 cents or something.
I gotta figure out how I'm going to use my phone when I get to the States, because I just buy load for the phone. I have no plan. I buy load for it. Like when I get to the States, I wonder how the hell I'm going to use that.
Yeah, that's a good question. You may have to see if your phone will take an American SIM, and when you get to the States, change the SIM.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm blocked. Like if the phone's so you can buy them, they're unblocked. The thing is, though, am I worried about roaming charges or what? I don't know.
I mean, I didn't worry about it when I was over there, but mobile phones weren't big then either. So,
But when you come here, you have no problem. You can get a SIM card real cheap at the airport. Take yours out, pop this one in.
yeah,
Cool. But
yeah.
going the other way, it's really different.
Actually, I'm just about due to get a new phone too. I think anyway. I'm still running one I've had for years. It's just a Samsung S5, I think. So it's as old as the hills.
So I don't know what I'm going to. I might just take it and just use it to take pictures and do some. Just maybe just to take pictures and send back and stuff like that. Maybe just use it for that.
There you go. Chicken Jack said, get a $20 bumper phone for the States.
Yeah. Can I get a bumper phone in the Philippines, or just get it when I get to the States?
I'd get it in the
Get it in
States.
Yeah, get it in the States.
And yeah, because at the end of the day, the SIM card is the thing that is the most important. I mean, you could always put it if the US SIM card is going to fit into your phone, then just use your own phone and get a SIM card when you're there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. She don't need a phone. It'd be my wife's phone anyways. I don't have a phone.
What do you do, Gogo? Do you just take your phone over there and then get a SIM card when you're there, or do you buy a whole new phone?
And you just pick up the SIM card and just stick it in. And
Yeah,
if you got a dual SIM phone, then who cares? You just stick it straight into the empty slot.
yeah. Yeah, the Samsung's not a dual SIM phone anyway. But yeah, it'd be just a matter of taking the SIM out and putting another one in there.
Yeah.
It is if you get the Duo S model, Thunder.
Oh, okay, well, I've got to get a new phone. So the 10 comes out soon. I was going to wait for the 10 to come out.
Oh, no, don't get an expensive phone.
No, I was going to buy the 9. Because the 10 comes out, the 9 will go down.
How much is that? How much?
Oh, I haven't even looked.
Because you can get the Samsung Duo S that can do everything. I think it might even still be on 4G. It's like $100 or something. And
That's cheap.
That's not on a plan. That's prepaid.
That's cheap as shit.
Yeah, so don't get ripped off and buy something that's, the latest on a plan. What a rip-off.
Yeah. I might do that. I might have to have a look at it anyway. But I was waiting for the 10 to come out because I thought the price of the 9 would drop right down once the new 10 came out.
9? The Samsung 9?
Yeah.
That's what my wife has. She has a 9. It's a nice phone. It's only think of it. The cameras are great.
Oh, look, they're getting better all the time.
Yeah, she has the 9. I bought her the 9 for Christmas.
Gunnar just asked how long you staying home for the visit, Ed.
Oh, probably around 2-3 weeks. I'm not going to say too long. Just a couple of weeks. I'm basically going back. I have to leave the country, and I'm basically going back. My high school reunion is I think, the 7th of September. So I'm basically going back, just go to the reunion. Then my daughter's there. I'll stay with my daughter. That's basically just going back for the reunion and come back and change my residency. I'll change my visa when I come back.
Yeah, Jason. I'm going to look into it now and just check it out. I mean, obviously Bitcoin's still the main player, and I'll look at that Ripple, and I think MJ was saying, is it BNB? I might look at that as well. Yeah, I know, Jason. Phones. Yeah, I've never destroyed a phone yet. And I've just got used to the Samsung. To me, it's like the old days before this smartphone comes out. I always had a Nokia, and to me, Nokia was always a good brand. Munchausen. Yeah, well, that's it, Jason. As people start investing into it again, the price is going to go right up. But I mean, it dropped. I mean, I'm sure that someone's saying Bitcoin early was 3,000 something, and I can remember it being up to 20 something. So there was a massive drop in Bitcoin. The old Texan study must be working. Fucking must suck to be you, big Texan. Why are you so quiet, Gogo? Yeah, well, one thing is your piss will go fucking yellow.
You tried it?
No.
Hmm.
So I was sorry, I was listening, but I was doing some stuff, couldn't talk. So I just bought this Asus phone. It has a dual SIM slot, and they got a couple of them. One's like a $300, one costs like 500. So far, I'm loving this thing. And I used.
What happened there?
Don't worry about that now. I just had the slot.
What gets me, people buy these expensive phones, but they don't use them to call people. A telephone, you're supposed to call people on it. Like, how often do people call people on a phone?
You know, one of the annoying facts about technology to me is that now they're so lazy to ring you that all they do is send you text messages.
That's what I'm saying. People don't use a phone for a phone. They just use it. Yeah, we'll send them a text. We get talking. You don't have to talk to the person. Send them a text.
Yo.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, man, the internet's all fucked up. It's shitty today, man.
Oh, hello, Joey, young boy.
Huh?
It's not
What's up,
shitty over here.
young chap?
Hey, Jew, it's not shitty over this side. My internet's perfect.
Really? Shit, not here.
Yeah, I've never.
And I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Man. This little ass AC I got doesn't even get any. Doesn't get no.
Julie, am I coming through okay?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Julie?
I can hear you.
I need you to listen really carefully. I need you to take your middle finger and put it in one of your really big nostrils for me.
Why?
Well, do that, and then I'll give you the next instruction.
What's this Mission
What in
Impossible?
the hell did I just come back into?
You want me to pick my nose? Is that what you said, Gogo?
I'm willing to wait. That's it. Put it in. Don't be shy.
Yeah, go hopping. I believe that.
Put it in, Julie.
Pick your nose and eat it there, Jew. No, eat it, Jew. Yeah.
You at Barmer's place? I don't think so, NCE. I mean, it might be interesting if he was, but he's not.
Julie, I thought you were stuck on your Bitcoin like Jay. Oh, he's broken. He's frozen. Frozen again.
Yeah. If he's on load.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with Bitcoin because you can end up sitting on it for a long time if it stops moving.
Yep.
Kind of like the stock market.
And the way things are, it seems to be a cycle of recession, so you don't know when the next one's going to hit, and I'm pretty sure at some stage one will hit. Yeah, no worries, go hopping. You take care, man.
About 6 months ago, or was it longer than that? I think it was 6 months ago. The Bitcoin had slowed down a lot, but they had like an overnight rush, because all the trend lines were about to trend up, and all the volume was really strong, yet it still hadn't gone up. And this was for like 20 of them, 20 different Bitcoins. So my friend bought some, but I didn't. And the next day, they all went up really big. And that's the last time. It's about 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it was 20, maybe even as far as 26,000 or something. I remember it got up.
It got
in the
up. It got up
mid-20s.
right about. It got right up about 20,000, just a little over a year ago, and then man, it shot up so fast. It was, of course, it was gonna have to come crashing down. But let me tell you what, man. 2017 was a fantastic year for all the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, but when you say that, I mean, it's all right if you buying and selling on a regular basis, but if you're a long-term investor, you wouldn't have wanted to see that.
No, well, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you're doing like I do a combination of both. I do long-term and short-term stuff, but when it increases that drastically, you have to consider selling. And if you know anything a little bit about how markets work, with something, candles that hard and fast, then it's going to go the opposite direction pretty quick, and you better be willing to sell a good portion of what you own.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful stuff, and often not much is happening. You're losing a little bit of money most of the time.
Yeah. Of course, I sold too soon. I sold my Bitcoin when it got to about 15,000, and of course, it shot up to about 20,000, not just a few weeks later or something like that. I'm like, dang it! But I still made a lot of money because I bought my Bitcoin for under $1,000. So.
But did you lose all that profits when you kept investing?
I have lost nothing. I am so far ahead. I got money invested in, and technically some of it's down compared to what it would be, but I'm so far ahead. I'm not losing anything at all.
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah, I hear you, Jason.
Yeah, lost. I bought Bitcoin when it first came out. I spent, about 100,000 on it. So now I'm a multi-billionaire.
Good
You're
for you.
Full of shit.
Oh man, I got some cheap swampland I can sell you.
Actually, if you want, I could sell you a big rock in the middle of Australia.
Yeah, there you go.
I could tell you a pig and 2 goats.
No, you can't. One of them goats is mine.
That goat is pregnant.
Congratulations.
It's funny though, if I came up to you 10 years ago and said, can you buy this fake money that I made up? It's the same thing. It's just so strange. That's why I remember I was offered Bitcoin when it first came out, and I'm just like, nah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it was so low when first came out, and it was my son and his mate were talking about it, and they were only young kids then, and I just didn't take it seriously, and I thought, oh yeah, this is another fly-by-night, a scam. The next minute, bloody hell, the thing it skyrocketed.
Yeah, most people thought it would stay in the gaming industry.
So I had one of the biggest opportunities I probably ever missed out on. Here in the States, we have the thing called Redbox. I don't know if you'll have that over there in Australia or not. They have the where you go and rent the DVDs at the well, it's a big red box in front of
Ah,
7-Eleven stores and convenience stores and
I thought it might
grocery
be
stores.
something that your wife got when you banged her too much.
Yeah, she definitely got a red box occasionally. So this thing is made huge money, and I had opportunity to just like invest like 5,000 when it first got going. I was like, man, who's going to be doing this? Boy, I couldn't have been more wrong with that.
But isn't Netflix killing Redbox? The computer.
That's the thing, though.
Now, a lot of streaming stuff is hurting Redbox, but let me tell you what, man, Redbox is still making bank.
Really?
Yeah, people are going every time I see a Redbox at a store somewhere. Actually, I'm pulling into a 7-Eleven right now, but this one don't have a Redbox. But man, people are always at them things.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's the thing with investing. It's all about speculation, isn't it?
Yeah, and you got to be willing to possibly lose if things don't go the way you plan. So you got to.
I've lost a lot of money in the stock market. I have lost. But I have one stock though I'll never lose. I have a lot of stock in Boeing Corporation, and I'll never lose money on that stock.
I've also been pretty lucky in the stock market. I haven't lost money in the stock market either. But now I have. The reason a lot of people lose money is because you panic. Like after Bitcoin bottomed out, people like panicked and they sold, and of course you suffer a loss because you're afraid it's going to go down. But I even after it dropped quite a bit, I bought some more when it was still around like the 7,000 mark because I kind of thought it was going to plateau around there, and of course it shot all the way down to like 4,000 after that. But I'm not panic selling it. I know it's going to go back up to that mark, so I'm just going to hold on to it.
Yeah, keep that. I mean, that's what most people are looking for, though, isn't it? Something long term and that they can pull out at retirement
some
time.
People they invest more than what they could afford to lose. So, like if you invest something, you can't. That money is out to the side. It can't be part of your daily life. And problem is, a lot of people spend that money like, oh shit, I got to pay a car note, or something comes up, I need money, so I got to sell it because they don't have no other savings to take care of those situations.
Did you ever think going in bonds?
Thanks, Thunder.
No, the only thing I did was I did a couple. This was many years ago. I did some of the blue chip stuff and what's the stuff you do at the bank? I forget, where you put money in, and I guess it's a type of bond for a few years, and you'll get 5-10% return on it. Yeah, I haven't messed with that in a while.
I'll tell you, when I was younger, when I first went in the military, when my first daughter was born, I started just savings bonds, U.S. savings bonds. I got her $100 savings bond a month, and when she hit 18 years old, I stopped the bonds, and I gave her all the bonds. It paid her way to college. 18 years, $100 a month savings bonds. It paid the kids way to college. I just handed them over to her. I got the bonds. I kept them in a strong box. And when she hit 18 years old, I just, here they are. Boom. Have fun. Do whatever you want. Go to school. Do what you want. And it paid her way to college.
Yeah, I gave all my bonds to James.
All doubles. There's a 007 of them.
Yeah, you started, Thunder. What do you call that condition? There's a word for that.
Tourette's?
Yeah, Tourette's syndrome. Oh my gosh, it's so funny, isn't it? Well, sad but funny at the same time.
I'll tell you, for me, the only good part about being in the military for me was that you have an allotment out, they get bonds, whatever you want with your allotment. You don't miss it because it's coming out of your check, and after a while it's there. You don't miss it at all. It's nothing like you have to worry where you get paid and you're okay. I got to put this aside for that.
You want to hear something funny, Go-Go?
Yeah.
I was maybe, I don't know, about 32 years old. And we were at this party we got invited to. and there was about half a dozen of us. All the boys were just standing there, and this young lad, he would have been, I don't know, maybe early 20s, maybe even early 20s. Thought, I guess he wanted to look cool, and he was standing there next to us, and this bird walks past, and I have to admit, my mate was right, but he said, "Fucking look at that fat, ugly bush pig." And the young bloke that was standing next to us turns around and goes, "That's my fiance."
Oh, Jesus. Hey, PV's on my Peter Vanderbilt uploaded emotional abuse among vloggers. Have to
Look,
check that out later.
if you've got to worry about emotional abuse, you shouldn't be on YouTube.
He goes, yeah, he has uploaded emotional abuse among vloggers.
Hey, Thunder, isn't it so strange that, like, when you get a friend that, like, a good-looking mate of yours that's pretty good with the ladies in the past, has a pretty good body and all the rest of it, and he picks, like, a really fat, ugly fiance. Have you ever encountered that?
I wouldn't say ugly, but some very average ones, and it's a bit
Yeah,
surprising.
I had this guy that I went to high school with, and he was really handsome and real hit with the ladies, and he ended up getting engaged to, like, the most ugliest, grotesque girl I've ever seen.
I mean, there was one guy we actually, now that you mention it, we used to make, someone made comments about it, but we just thought that she must be fucking hot in bed. You know, she wasn't putrid or anything, but very average.
Mm,
But we just thought she must be fucking wild in bed.
possibly.
You don't know. Just don't know.
Mm,
They're not together now anyway, so I heard.
mm.
Because it was kind of funny too. Like, he was a single guy, no kids, and the bird he shacked up with had like 4 or 5 kids.
Oh, yeah, that's funny you say that, because that also happened to one of my other friends as well.
There's
Never
always
had any kids, no baggage, you know, good career and all the rest of it, and then he picks an older lady that's much older than him and already got 5 kids.
Yeah, well, it's the same with him. He had a pretty good career. He had a crash repairs. He was a spray painter. So, yeah, there was always like, what the hell? But you just don't know. So, and I don't think too much about it. It's what other people do. Like I said, you know, it was mentioned a couple of times, and we just thought, yeah, she must be fucking hot in bed or something like that.
Mm. Must
So who
trigger
knows?
emotions from the sex, and maybe it's like a one night, and they say, "Oh, just do it," and then it starts to release those emotions, and then they get hooked.
That's that can happen, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But you know, I've seen the opposite, where remember I used to drop my ex off to work in the middle of the city, and where she worked, there was this bitch. She was so damn hot, man. I would have left my ex in a second for this bird. And the guy that used to drop her off was this, you know, ugly fat turd. You know, I thought, what the fuck? You know, well, you know, some things you just can't explain. Obviously, you had the gift of the gab.
I have seen that before, Thunder, but usually there's a catch. Like when I saw this hot model dating this really ugly guy, he had violence going for him because he was a pretty hardcore bikie. So even though he was really ugly, she must have been attracted to the violent part.
It's kind of funny. I used to see that a lot. I think I'm not so sure about attracted to that part of it, but I think they're attracted to the life and the, you know, the money, the attention they get. You know, I
He's
mean,
got
I've seen
that.
I've seen some women get the attitude like cops, mate, when they're dating a member. It's like, you know, they think they're untouchable and can say whatever they want.
They're using the power. Yeah.
So I've seen that quite a bit.
teas. I just went off to get a glass iced tea. There's no iced tea. So
Ed,
I have
can
to
you
drink
turn
I
up
have to
your
drink
mic
a
a
can
little
of
bit?
beer.
Push your mic up a bit.
Nah, I can't turn it up anymore. I got another mic on. It just
Yeah,
hurts my mouth.
Jason, I heard a story once, and I don't know how true it is, but Apple, Wozniak and Jobs were building the computers in a shed. And when they first were starting to get orders and they actually employed people, at one stage they were running out of money. So they gave their employees the option to take their pay in shares. Quite a few of them did, but a lot of them didn't. All those that did end up multi-millionaires.
Mm.
But I mean, I've just heard that. I don't know how true that story is. It sounds pretty convincing because you think any company getting off the ground at first, you might find yourself cash strapped.
Of course it's true. Of course that story's true.
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's happened with Apple either.
Yeah, I don't know how Apple's going to go in the future without a Steve Jobs around, though.
Usually companies give you some shares as part of the package as well as your income. But you're saying when they left, they gave them shares.
No, this is when they were working in the shed. They had a shed made up to put the computers together. And they'd hired a few people. I'm not sure how many was involved in it at the time or how big they were at the time. And they were cash strapped for paying wages, so they offered shares instead of the instead of the pay, and some of them took the shares.
Yep. That was a smart move. Big risk, but a smart move.
Yeah, Jason, that's what I heard. It was basically out of a garage, and some of them took it, and yeah, those ones that took it end up becoming very rich out of it. You'd be spewing though if you. Who was it? Here's one. This is just a crazy little fact off the top of my head that I've seen something not long ago. Do you remember the show Get Smart?
Yeah.
Don Adams?
Yeah.
Right. Don Adams, when he first got the part, they made an offer to him. Now, they said you can take a high pay every week, or you can take a lower pay every week. But if you take the lower pay every week, we'll give you, and I don't know what it is, what it's actually called, but it was like if it ever got syndicated or anything like that, he would, every time it was shown, he would get a percentage of that money.
A royalty.
Yeah, like a royalty, yeah. And so he said, what is the big pay? And they said $12,000 a week. Remember, this is about probably 70, 71, so that would have been big money back then. And he said, what's the small wage? And they said, it was salary, and it was $4,000 a week. So it was either 12,000 or 4,000, and he said it was the best deal I ever done. He took the $4,000 a week and then got a royalty from it. And as you know, Get Smart was shown all over the world, and probably still gets shown today in places.
Some places, yeah.
So yeah, he took the $4,000 a week and got a part of the show.
They made a movie on that too. I wonder if we got anything off that movie. Well, you had to.
What movie?
It's right. They would have had to. Yeah, go on, Ed.
Get Smart. There's a movie based on that.
Movie? I can't think of a movie. I know there's a cartoon, Inspector Gadget. Used to have his voice.
There's a movie on it. It's on Netflix. I forget the name of it, but it's on Netflix.
It's funny. I remembered it because Gogo was mentioning James Bond earlier, and the two writers that first started, or the guy that started up and got the two writers together, I think one of them was Mel Brooks, and they wanted a character that was half James Bond and half Inspector Clouseau. So that's what they based him on.
I still think that Roger Moore's the best James
Me
Bond.
too. Gogo, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
He was my favourite.
Who's that?
Roger Moore. Probably Connery after that, but
what about your favorite James Bond movie? Just straight up favorite James Bond movie?
Oh God, the one with what's her name? The blonde bombshell. Oh God, Estella Andress, was it?
I can't remember the girls' names. I remember
What?
the big man
Which?
with the funny teeth.
Oh, Jaws.
Jaws. Yeah, those are the Roger Moore.
Richard, somebody's name was.
They did a good job of fucking up that too, though, Thunder. They forgot all about James Bond and just put out action flicks.
Yeah, yeah, and the guy they put in there, nothing against him, but there's that they lack that suaveness, that sophistication that
Yeah.
Roger Moore and Connery had.
Everything that James Bond stands for, they took away because they
Yeah.
wanted it to look more real. That's what they said.
Yeah, but I think sometimes, you know, that saying, less is more.
Definitely.
There's probably, to be honest with you, even though they were out there and basically crazy, but there was more of a story to it all. And
Yeah, well, the character.
You haven't you didn't like any of the Daniel Craig ones, the new ones? I guess he's done 4 of them though.
Nah, I'm not into the Daniel Craig. And the George
Oh, really?
Lazenby one was not good either. And
Plus, they're okay movies, but they lack substance. It's just not.
Well, I would. Well, you know, out of the 4 he's done, I'm going to disagree with 2 of them: Casino Royale and then Skyfall. Skyfall there was no lack of substance in that movie at all. That was one of the better James Bond flicks overall.
But we're not talking so much the movie as the character James Bond. Like, to me, Roger Moore and Connery had more class than a Daniel Craig.
I like Connery better than Roger Moore, though. I like Connery better.
Let me put it this way. If the Bond movie started with Daniel Craig, we would have no Bond saga.
Perhaps.
Oh, that's a big statement to make.
Because you needed the accent, you needed the suave kind of character, you needed all those things for it to take off the way it did.
Oh shit, I'm the wrong way.
Oh, well,
Just
you got to remember.
But remember, Thunder, just Sean Connery's accent alone, that became so famous as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like Ed would probably say Connery was the best. I'm just, I don't know. Roger Moore seemed to be.
Roger Moore was definitely the one who was a little more like suave. You know, he was the one more sophisticated out of all of them.
And I think he had more the looks than Connery too at the time. You know, because I remember Roger Moore for 2 other things actually, probably more than James Bond, even because I've probably seen him more. Was a TV series called The Saint, and a TV series called Ivanhoe.
I don't know that one.
You know who
I remember the same.
James Bond, Thunder?
Sorry?
Do you know who reminds me of James Bond, Thunder?
Who's that?
Emma.
You dickhead.
He has swag.
He's everything that James Bond would never be. He's not suave. He's not cool and calm and collected. Holy shit. Of all the people you could have mentioned.
The diving scenes were good as well in the old Bond films.
Yeah, but we tend to forget that back when those films were made, you know, the effects and the action were probably right up there for the period.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I'm not even sure how many of the new ones I've seen. You said there's 4 of them. I don't think I've seen all 4. But again, Daniel Craig, nothing against the guy himself or the movies. It just didn't seem to fit the Bond character.
Yeah,
and I think they mentioned that themselves, that they were changing that a little bit, which is...
The best way I can say it is they're putting out action films. They're not putting out James Bond films.
Yeah, but See, you can still have the suave, sophisticated James Bond with the action in it.
He can't even do the martini properly, the shaken not stirred. I mean, how fucked up's that? It's one
Yeah.
line, for God's sake.
Well, there's certain things that are just James Bond, and
You,
that's
you
one of
do
them.
know it. The Daniel Craig one was kind of like the they're like kind of starting over, like doing it from the beginning. That's why they haven't done the like Casino Royale kind of made it like was the first time he ever ordered the shaken and not stirred thing or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, they wanted to.
Reintroducing Spectre and all that kind of stuff.
Do you guys know what the 007 means?
Is this going to be
Honestly,
a
I don't.
Okay. All right. The 00 is the license to kill, and the 7 is that his Agent 7.
I really so 00 stands for license to kill. Huh?
Yeah, the license. Yeah, the double like his Agent 007. The 00 means his agent license to kill, and it's Agent number 7.
So that explains in an emergency why you call 000, because they're going to kill everything.
Oh shit! See, some totally useless pieces of information. I'm full of it.
Yeah, you are a bit useless. Where you get all this stuff?
Oh, I don't know, mate. To be honest with you,
The internet, it's not something that you would Google.
I couldn't even tell you where I'd and I was pretty well late to the internet compared to a lot of you guys. So
What? What time is it? Oh, 11:19.
Anyway,
one-
GoldenEye is my favorite James Bond film.
I forgot about him as James Bond.
Yeah, name escapes me now. Remington
Pierce-
Steel guy.
Yeah, Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Pierce Bronson.
Hey,
that's
no,
it.
man, is this next weekend? You set the time back ahead again?
Yeah, I believe so. We're so springs forward. So we
Yeah, on ahead next weekend, right?
at 2 a.m. it goes to 3 a.m.
Okay. Like I say, right now it's 11:20 here, so it's 10:20 on the East Coast. So next week will be the same time.
Yep, just
11:20.
12-hour difference.
Yeah, that's all.
I forgot about that. Yeah, daylight savings will end here. That brings us an hour closer to the Philippines. So there'll only be an hour and a half difference then.
We don't have daylight savings here.
Yeah, well, that's why normally there's like during the winter months, it's only an hour and a half difference between us. But over the summer period, when we have daylight savings, it becomes 2.5 hours. Like it's 1:50 a.m. here now.
Yeah, the Philippines don't do that. They just have the same time.
Well, the chat went quiet. Obviously,
Well,
they
this
don't like.
Saturday, I'll tell you,
don't
this
like-
Saturday, back in my hometown, this Saturday is the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And for Scranton, Pennsylvania being a small city, it has the second largest St. Patrick's Day Parade in the United States.
It's funny that I mean,
wow.
even in Australia, I mean, I guess because of the Irish heritage, but lots of people celebrate it here too. I mean, it's not huge, but lots of pubs and the Irish pubs around town.
They say it's even larger. The first largest parade is in Savannah, Georgia. They have the largest. And the second, they say, it's supposed to be New York City, but Scranton is larger than New York City. So right behind
Savannah, Georgia. Are you kidding me? Wow,
that's the guy. That's the largest St. Patrick's Day Parade is in Savannah, Georgia.
Wow, that's really surprising to me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was always surprised when I heard that.
I would have thought New York had a huge Irish
They do.
heritage.
Yeah, that one in New York is very huge. That parade.
Yeah. They say, but Scranton is larger. The one in my hometown is larger. They say. Like they got them coming from all over. They
What's the
come
matter?
from Ireland. It's really,
Why is Gunner so quiet? Is he falling asleep or something? Is he having a nana nap?
Maybe I'll get lucky and I might be able to find a live stream of it. Maybe watch it.
I guess the guys don't like us talking about James Bond.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Even Gogo took off. He
I
did
guess
a
they're not
run
real men. Real men watch James Bond.
Chicago, they dye the river green.
Yeah, they do a lot of
Jeez,
it all over. Yeah.
bloody hell. That's probably gone a bit too far. I
That
think,
sounds a little too much.
Well,
I mean,
as
over
long as,
here, people wear green ribbons, but dyeing a whole the river, Jesus.
well, as long as they don't dye the lake green, they're all right. You just,
Get some green beer.
yeah, green berry. They do that. Same thing. Yeah,
Oh,
Go
God.
around pinching the butts of the girls who are not wearing green.
yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh, Jesus. Hell, man, you'd be arrested for that. Doctor Who. You need to talk to Andy. Andy loves Doctor Who.
Like where I'm from, there's let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 colleges. Well, 2 right in the city and 2 on the outskirts. And you want to see St. Pat's at those colleges? Holy Jesus! It's one big drink. They start 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They'll start drinking, and they'll be drinking all day and all night long. And
Okay.
the main college, University of Scranton, is a big Jesuit college where you got to have money to go to. And when I was working at the hospital, we get all the drunks in, and you just shake your head like, oh, the parents are paying all this money to send a kid to college, and here they are.
Isn't isn't Notre Dame a big Irish Catholic
Yeah,
school?
yeah, oh yeah, Notre Dame is too. Yeah,
Yeah, the mascot is the Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
it's Leprechaun.
There's someone who said, and to think St. Patrick was Welsh.
Yep, he was. He's a Welshman. Yep.
I remember the stories of him going to Ireland anyway.
He just
As
went
well,
down
they
to
said
get
that,
all he just went down to chase all the snakes out. That's all.
and the wolves or something like that. But actually, wolves were actually taken out because of the Irish wolfhound when they started hunting them down. But yeah, the snakes one of it. The same as is one of the story like that with St. Paul as well. I think there's a lot of those. But to be honest with you, I don't think there was ever. I've seen shows about where they said there never were any snakes in Ireland.
Well, March 1st was patron saint of Wales' Saint David. It was his holiday.
Are you Catholic, are you, Ed?
No, I went to Catholic school, but I'm not Catholic.
Okay.
I was the only Protestant kid in the Catholic school I went to.
Yeah, I was kind of brought up Catholic. Went to Catholic school.
I went to Catholic school for just a couple years. That was it. And my parents took me out.
I did the first 7 years at a Catholic school,
I went 8 years in the Catholic school.
and then high school went to a public school.
My son and daughter, they went 8 years to a Christian school, to a Christian denomination school, and then they decided they went to the public high school, so they went to public high school.
Well, I had a choice. Back those days, I had the choice to go to Catholic colleges for the high school part of it, but the thing that was very uninviting about that was all the Catholic high schools or colleges in Adelaide at the time were just boys only males. I mean, some of them I think are co-ed these days, but back then they were all male. So, fuck that. I went to the public high school where there was going to be at least girls there.
If you knew me, before I came to the Philippines, well, when I went back to the States, like I'm religious, I'm a Methodist, but I was actually up until the time I left, I still have credentials. I'm what they call a Methodist lay preacher. What I used to do, like on Sundays, if I used to cover churches where those ministers were on vacation or if they couldn't come in, I used to go do the I used to do the services on Sundays. That's
Yeah.
and
No,
I haven't been to church since I've been to the Philippines. Well, no, I'm sorry, twice. Twice. I went to my son's baptismal, and one other time.
yeah, I don't know, I'm not big on it. Welcome back, Go. No, I'm not big on it. I have my fair share of, or should say, not arguments, but discussions with people. The so-called creationist.
Yeah.
I'm an evolutionist. I mean, the evolution theory may be wrong or not completely put together yet, but I'd prefer science over religion. I'll take science every day.
I
That's
prefer
just-
truth over all of it.
Well, that's
right.
true. That's why I said with the evolution may not be right, but or it may not be complete yet, but I'll
Look,
take science.
It had to start somewhere.
Well,
it had to start
I
somewhere.
mean, there are explanations for it, but you know, and they're feasible. The only one that is in doubt for me is and again, there's guys that'll know more about it than I do, but the Big Bang Theory, I think there's still some doubt about that one, or not doubt, but maybe needs a little bit more explaining. It's hard to believe that. I mean, I guess that's just a human thing. Hard to believe that there's just nothing there to begin with.
Well, it wasn't nothing. That's a lot of people don't even kind of understand the Big Bang Theory at all.
I know there was elements around and all the rest of it, and all those elements will create something, but whether it happened like they say it did, or I still think it's incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's called a theory, because we don't have all the information. We'll probably never have all the information. We can speculate and come up with maybe some pretty good guesses, and maybe one day we'll be able to like create some type of universe to prove maybe that's how it began or something like that. But all we know for sure is everything is spreading apart, and it looks like everything came from one central area, and they've been able to prove this by those
there was a
what is
big
that like
there was a big explosion, and everything came from it. Put it that way.
No, actually, it's not a big. That's not even the big theory now. That was just one that was a long time ago. That maybe an explosion happened that started it, but that's not even a thing. It's they. Marksman might have to help me here. What's the stuff they found out there when they were using the Hubble telescope? That some kind of energy they help kind of prove how things are moving around in space.
Yeah.
I forget now.
The only things I know about is the dark energy and the dark matter, but it's more of
dark energy. It's a couple other things. But anyway, they were able to prove, mathematic-wise, how everything's spreading apart. And there's enough information. It looks like everything, obviously, if everything's moving in a direction, then more than likely it was all converging into one central point at one time. And they got math that kind of helps back that up. But as far as an explosion happening to make it all move apart and all that stuff, that's all just true speculation.
Look, I don't know how much you've got into quantum mechanics, and I watched, what's his name? Is the American scientist, the Japanese American guy. He does so many documentaries.
Noriko, I forget his name.
Yep, you know who it is. Yep.
I know exactly who it is. He's smart.
Well, I seen him do one, and this is where the maths thing comes into it. I've seen him do a documentary on quantum mechanics, and he said if you to believe the way that quantum mechanics works, quantum mechanics makes everything we know about maths and physics wrong. Is there because physics, maths, we work out things and we know what we can and can't do, and physics says you can do this but you can't do that. Where
Mm.
quantum mechanics will come into play and say, that's all wrong. You can do
Yeah.
anything.
Mm. Yeah, that's what he specializes in.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable. You need to shit at least once a day. Cool.
I
Then you
usually
got
go
a
twice a day.
healthy. You got a healthy diet, then, Go.
Yeah, I'm a creator.
Only
You-
once
you-
a day, Bobo? Only once
Mate,
a day?
it's a pretty shitty world you're creating.
Only for the people that I poo in their face. I can't hear myself. I can't hear can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Well, we hear you, but okay was a stretch.
Just wait.
Just hang on a sec. I got to go check something.
Check it out. Oh, Ed's not here anymore. It's just me.
How's that? Am I louder?
Yeah, you sound fine.
How loud? Very loud, small loud, medium loud?
You're just how you normally sound.
I want to be loud.
No, I hear you fine enough. Your stupid voice changer is the problem.
Just wait. How's that, Ross?
Yep, perfect.
There you go. So what's going on? And why is that?
Man, I'm having to drive way the hell out to who knows where in BFE to do this job. Taking forever to get there.
You're on the freeway.
Nah, I'm on like smaller county roads at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I wouldn't doubt it if for too much longer here I lose a signal. Pack it up. Go, when you traveling again? Is that all you do now? You just go to the Philippines? You don't go anywhere anymore? Or anywhere else?
Secret. That's a very big secret, Ross.
Oh, is it? Oh, my bad.
What's the secret there?
Oh, Ross was asking me about where I'm going to travel, or if I only travel to the Philly.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Lost. You should know better than.
Well, I didn't know he kept that a secret. He talks about going all the time. I think it'd be a big deal if I said if he was going somewhere else in the world, or he was just going to go to the Philippines.
He's got to hide his true identity. That might give a clue away to who he is.
Oh, no, you're going to get on a plane? I should be able to figure out your exact name.
Well, he's married to a Filipina.
Is that right?
Possibly.
I don't give a crap if you are or you aren't.
We know that you're married to a Colombian. That's what I thought of you the other day, man. Actually, I thought of you being married to. Thought of you being married to a Colombian because I've seen this old guy turn up at the Chinese restaurant,
Hey.
and he must have been, I don't know, 60-something years old, and he came in with this bird who would have been probably late 20s, man, with most beautiful boobs, skinny as waist, but this big booty. And when I heard the accent, I thought, South American. wow. I mean, the girl was drop dead gorgeous.
In Australia, do y'all have a lot of age gap relationships? Like, is it normal at all?
They
Ten.
they have them, but they're rare. They're not. You don't see a lot of them.
It's usually
Are
10
you
years.
starting to see it? Are you starting to see it more often now versus say from 10, 15, 20 years ago or whatever?
If it is, it's probably because you're seeing more guys running around with Asian wives.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely I've been noticing a lot more. I guess since I am 15 years older than my wife. I guess I pay a little more attention to it. Maybe I know my wife does for sure. Wasn't too long ago we saw a couple. And the guy was he was in his 50s, maybe his 60s, and the girl was probably late 20s, early 30s, something like that. My wife kind of gave me a nudge, like, oh my gosh, like look at their age gap or whatever. And I'm like, look at us. I'm like 15 years older than you. Come on.
How you doing, Amani? Well, I mean,
but I'm starting to notice it a little more often, and not just guys or girls with foreign girlfriends or wives or husbands or whatnot. But been noticing a little bit more often here in the States.
There was 10 years, around about 10 years, I think, between maybe 9 or 10 years between my parents. So I guess when you say 15, it's probably not. That's not ridiculous. I mean, I heard you talking about it, the age gap and that yesterday.
Yeah.
I think you need to remember that when it comes to the Philippines, specifically the Philippines, the age gap's probably not as big a deal as maybe somewhere else, because it seems to me that the girls there do seek older men. Now, whether that's for the money
I really only find it it seems to only be kind of taboo in Western cultures for the most part. It's not a big deal, say down in a lot of the Latin countries. Not a big deal for.
No, that would be
You
because
definitely see it more there.
Yeah,
I'm
it doesn't get that bad in Europe.
What you just said, Thunder's correct, because also I'm an expert in listening to people's voices, and even online, as an example, JLB's channel, when Lee was talking to one of the girls and the girl asked Lee's age, once he told his age, he said it with confidence, thinking because he's younger, she'll be more interested in him. But you could hear her voice levels change downwards when he actually said how young he was. Because you're right, Thunder, they look for security, so they kind of want around 40 plus.
It seems that way, and it seems to be. I mean, I'm probably misnaming it, but I was going to say it's a cultural thing. I'm not sure if that's the right category to put it in, but it does seem to be something that's specific to the Philippines. I mean, in Thailand, it's probably rarer, unless you are a millionaire. The Thai girls usually look for guys more closer to their own age. That's what I've seen.
They'll still go older, but they don't go for those real large age gaps. But
yeah,
in Thailand, what I noticed, 15 years probably isn't too bad. 20 might be pushing it, but I would say usually around, 10 years is usually about most of the time more than a girl would want to really go.
I've seen the younger boys in the Philippines that thought they were pretty hot shit, and they weren't getting any. The older guys, it's true. The older guys were getting it, and these guys were so confused.
Well, because remember being a younger dumbass, they're probably thinking they're all suave and cool running around, because there is a lot of older guys in the Philippines. There's no doubt about that.
I'd play with their heads, man.
Yeah, I would just when I was there, because I was in my 30s, mid 30s when I was going to the Philippines, and man, it was like first time I go, I didn't even realize how in demand I was. It was like, dang. I mean, it was almost having to beat them off with a stick. It seemed like.
Look, I think I can see where that would happen because I mean, there still does seem to be some girls out there, and it's probably the better educated, the ones that can support themselves, have really good jobs or something. They tend to, because I was on a dating site at one stage, they seem to tend to want younger guys closer to their own age, but they weren't, definitely not the majority by a long shot. They were a minority.
I mean, yeah, there's obviously some correlation with older, I mean, not even just older men, but older women in general too, that travel to, countries that have more or have higher poverty levels where there's obviously something there. Women in general want security. Outside of them having their own wealth, they still want to be secure with whoever they're with. I think this is kind of a natural instinct for women together, but there's definitely something there. In the Philippines, by far, the countries I'm aware of, they're willing to drop everything on a hat to move to another country with somebody else so they can have a better life. Not all of them. I don't want to generalize. All right. All right.
No,
Not all of them, but generally speaking,
majority
Filipinos
of them.
Yeah, the majority of them, a high percentage, are definitely willing to leave their country to go somewhere else. And that's been more so than any other country I've been to. Like the Thai girls, for example, what the percentage is way smaller of the ones who are wanting to leave to actually go to another country. Colombia is way smaller. They're not really out to leave their country. Colombia's got it going on pretty good down there. And of course, you got what we call the gringo hunters down there, the ones who are in, a little bad.
Actually,
the situation isn't as good, and they're looking for a foreigner to take them out of their situation. Go ahead.
I disagree with you, Lust. A lot of Thais want to go abroad.
Yes, a lot of them do, but I'm saying percentage-wise, comparing it to the Philippines, it's way lower.
Yeah, but not much.
Yeah, no, I'll get back to you. All good. I hope Brian's well. So, I thought hadn't seen much of you and Brian around lately. So, look, I think I was going to say, you made me forget, Ian, with that bollocks. You're so surreal, man. I was going to say, with the Philippines, I think because you got so many there that have so many have-nots. So many people unemployed or struggling. Hate to say it, but I guess it is a third world country. And so that you get any Western man, what happened there? They all drop off. Right? Any Western guy on an average salary is going to be able to offer them something better than they got. And like you said, that security. You guys lost. You both muted. Who muted you guys? You muted yourselves.
Well, I just came back in because I had lost a call there for a second.
Yeah, WAE. I mean, you could say that as wives or as OFWs. How you doing, Captain Spaulding? Yeah, look, I mean, to be honest with you, Captain, I think Southeast Asia. I want to see the whole lot if I go over. To me, it'd be a waste to not go see some other Southeast Asian countries when you're in that area. In general, older men are seen as responsible. Yeah, not just the responsible. They're responsible, reliable, more faithful. an older guy with a hot young chick's less likely to cheat, and they seem very jealous. They seem very possessive. So
You talking about the guys or the girls?
no, the girls, the Philippines girls seem to be very jealous and possessive.
Yeah. You know, luckily the Filipino girls I dated were not very jealous. Not like the ones people talk about. I guess I got a little lucky there.
That's because you date bad girls, love.
That's right. Shit, bar girls are some of the more jealous ones on the planet.
Yeah, probably. But I
They
mean,
they sell themselves for sex all day long, but man, they'll get mad if you go and get another one.
yeah, Captain, the food does seem to. I mean, they don't have a. It's not like Philippines cuisine is famous or anything. Not like Thai food. And I don't know if you guys have seen the latest Rike one. He was talking about the food, and obviously over there you got a much bigger choice and better food.
Poor Ricky got his motorbike stolen.
Hey, what are you talking about? It's only $250 though.
He should never have gone there. This whole trip's been a complete failure. And the girls he's dating are over 40. What the fuck?
Yeah, 44, 43, but that just
Yeah,
says
what's the
that he's
big
not.
deal with that?
It just says that he's looking for someone for a longer term relationship, and he did say that.
I mean, do you think they're not hot 40-year-old women out there or something like that? I mean, they're all retarded.
Hold your horses, Lost. We know you've got an old one. Now,
still got a young one.
What I want to say is he wishes he never went there, and he's putting on this gigantic smile. It's hilarious.
Look, he just, because that's the first one I've seen in a long time, and he said he's going to stay there for the next year, 12 months. So, and I have to admit, Vietnamese women are very pretty.
Yeah, they are, but you still need to court them, and that's going to take a long time.
Well, the scary thing is I watched a video on them not long ago because I've got a friend who married a Vietnamese girl, and so I know some of it's true. And one of them is that they're not a fuck on first date sort of girl. A lot of them even want to be virgins when they get married.
There you go. That's the problem.
I've kind of heard. Now I don't know a whole lot about the Vietnamese culture and stuff, but I've been hearing the younger generation is a little more apt to kind of get rid of those old customs of the courting and everything, and get it on a little faster.
Well, that's possible. I mean, I don't know how old this video was I watched of it, but I mean, there's in Southeast Asia. I mean, you've seen the Philippines girls and the beauties there. The proof, I guess, too, is in the fact that they win Miss Universe, consistently pretty well. But the Vietnamese girls, if you get the pretty ones, I mean, the real pretty, they're stunningly beautiful. A bit like the Koreans. There's some stunningly beautiful Koreans as well. But Japan, I've seen them in Japan. I mean,
man, let me tell you what. I was in Korea, and I've flown Korean Airlines a lot, man. And those stewardess, man, they are always attractive. Just kind of tall and kind of pale skin. Just really good looking Korean girls on these Korean airline flights. I go to Korea, I don't see any of them.
Okay, maybe.
And also, Korea was somewhere I didn't really like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of the places on my list to go if I was in Southeast Asia. But the girls that I've seen that are Korean, some of them have been pretty gorgeous. And
oh yeah, we occasionally watch some Korean shows on Netflix and stuff. They've been putting out some good movies, by the way, drama stuff, make you want to cry your eyeballs out, kind of things. But
Chicken.
Go ahead.
Chicken Choker just said my buddy had a Vietnamese wife, sexy but crazy ass. Well, my mate's married to one,
you can get
and
crazy anywhere.
Well, yeah, my mate married one. She's beautiful. They've got 2 young children. He was 50 when I think had his first kid. But she is stunningly beautiful, and he put her through school. She's now owns her own travel agency. So she's. I mean, I met her on a few occasions. She's not crazy. She's actually. But, he got lucky. What can I say? He met the girl when he went on a holiday to Vietnam. She was working in a shop but could speak bugger all English. So they somehow, I don't know how he did it, but managed to form a relationship. And when he left, he made sure he sent money there every month for her to take English lessons. And I mean, her English is fantastic now. But obviously got her across here to Australia, then had the 2 kids and her own business now. So she's probably someone I would go see because I know she does a lot of stuff to Vietnam, but we'll do it anywhere. But she's got some experience over Southeast Asia anyway. Yeah, WAE, I don't know that because I've never been there. You know, it may be. I have noticed, and Gogo, you probably got better advice on this, but it does seem that some parts of the Philippines, the women are prettier than others. But it may be psychological. I don't know.
No, it's not fucking psychological, you dickhead. It's true. Especially in Mindanao, they're quite beautiful.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
And per head, you got smaller population in places like Bacolod, but you might find there's more prettier girls. When you go out into places like Cebu, there's more uglier girls mixed in.
I mean, what
I
part
found
of?
them. I went from top to bottom in the Philippines, and I didn't really pay attention to which ones were more hot and all. There's just good looking girls everywhere, but I did find the girls to be a lot more friendly and easier to get along with down in Mindanao and Davao, more so. Actually, Davao and just a couple other.
Are you talking about sex, are you?
No, I'm talking about meeting people, but if you want to talk about sex, then
No, I don't want to talk about that. You're so dirty-minded.
You're the one who wanted to bring up. You said sex, I didn't.
I'll just play with you. Yeah. People are different every section, that's right.
Yeah, of course. They got a little different customs and culture each area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go on silent here for a few minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm going to go. No, actually, I got to this house I'm working at. This guy's a cop, or her. I don't know.
We're going to talk to you like we're doing. We're going to talk to you like we're doing a drug deal, man.
Yeah, no. What's going on, guys? I'm here for the drugs.
Hang on, wait.
What you do with the body? What you do with the body? Yeah, I don't know. Is there more of a Spanish influence in Mindanao or less?
Wouldn't really say it's any different as far as that goes.
Because there's definitely. Well, I mean, I guess I'm looking at videos on YouTube that I guess might be biased. I don't know, but some of the girls from like Mindanao did look hot. There was a slightly different look between them. So the girls in Cebu or Manila. Some look more Asian, and some have more.
They have more curves.
Yeah, and more of a Western face, if you know what I mean, like with the eyes and.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
So I don't know if obviously that's the Spanish or American influence. I'm not sure which. I guess it's a mixture of all of them.
Yeah.
But that's why I was wondering whether Davao had less contact with like Spanish American in the past, or they had more. Maybe that was a reason for the girls and their looks.
Now, Thunder, let's not put them all in one bucket.
No, I'm just.
I'm going to get complaints, Thunder, for you labelling all these Spanish.
Hang on, just watch Chicken Choker here. Diversity is far north Luzon. So I don't know the geographic areas, so but I'm guessing Luzon is up near Baguio and all that, is it?
Mm.
Because I've been told that Baguio was they had lots of missionaries and that there.
They're everywhere.
That's sad. It's sad that they're still out there. I thought that they were gone from the 18 and 1900s, but obviously not.
Well, I've been mistaken for a missionary twice. It's true.
What the hell? You running around in a white shirt and a tie?
No. I did see someone like that. It was pretty funny, actually.
Well, I'm sure you get Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses out there.
Yeah. And they walk into all kinds of the poor areas. And it's quite funny because they just got no idea what they're doing.
Well, if they're anything like they are here, they're usually younger kids.
Well, Ian S., my connection isn't to do with sex or drugs like you, boy.
Northern Luzon tend to have a rounder butt and bigger boobs, larger than their cups. Okay, Northern Luzon. Is it? How do you pronounce that? Luzon?
Fucking kangaroo. Oh, Graham, you gotta change your avatar. It was so funny. Send him a link, Thunder. Bring him on.
Oh, I can do that. I'll put the link in there for you. If you want to use it, up to you.
Bring Ian on. I want to fight him.
Well, Luzon. Okay. Thanks, Graham. Luzon.
The girls in Mindanao had nicer booties. They had like bigger, more plump butts.
Yeah, curves. We were just talking about curves.
Well,
but we're not so derogative.
I'm saying I'm making it more specific to the ass. All right.
Well,
go. Watch yourself.
Graham says up north they got nice round asses.
Plus, there's a manga.
You damn right I am, or was.
Come on, Ian. I want to have a little fight. Come and join us.
Who are you talking to?
This Ian S. I assume the S stands for sex pack.
Oh boy,
Ian's not bad. I tell you what, he says some things that are very surreal at times. That, I mean, he loses me totally. I don't. Well, that sounds all right. Chicken Choker. They have many looks: Korean, Japanese, Chinese, other ethical, intermingled. I mean, I like the look of the Asian girls. I mean, you get a stunning Asian girl, it's like always give them a 10.
Thunder's got yellow fever, everyone.
Well, you know what it's more for me, and it's probably why some of the American girls are nice, but the eyes, I do like the not too crazy, but the almond-shaped eyes.
Yeah, that's because they don't need a squint when you come in their face, Thunder.
What's the subject? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, nothing.
How you doing?
What's up?
Didn't even see him join.
Yeah, it came on with a big burp.
My connection is just gone shit.
My internet's working a little bit better now.
Look, MJ retirement vlogs. See him in the hammock?
Sorry, guys. I think my connection is slowed right up for some reason.
What's up, Chicken Choker?
Thunder, select this picture.
MJ is back.
What's
up? How are you doing tonight?
Nothing, man. I'm exhausted, man. I'm so tired.
Did you find a squirter? Thunder.
I was just on Nico's show.
If Thunder's gone too long, this will shut down.
Oh.
He's on a timer.
He's on a
Oh,
timer.
Nico was online.
Yeah, Nico just had a show right now. I jumped on for a little while.
Ah,
Yeah.
Is Nico still sucking up to everyone?
Huh?
Is Nico sucking up to everyone, or has he decided to stand on his own 2 feet?
Who's sucking up to everyone? Go.
Nico, he's usually licking
No.
someone's asshole.
No, nothing like that, man.
Really?
Nico's a
I
cool guy.
always see him licking Popeye's asshole and licking Ren's asshole. He should just say what he wants to say.
He does, Gogo.
I don't think so. Bring him on here and we see the real Nico.
You should invite him.
Yeah, he's invited anytime. I like him.
Oh, okay. Maybe maybe I can send him a link. Actually, could I send him a link or?
Yeah, send him a link.
Yeah. Damn it, Thunder might not come back.
I hope he will. I think he will. He's just trying to fix his sound.
yeah, but he might have to start the stream over. He can never get back in.
We were talking about white knight Puritans in the Philippines. Okay.
That's a good topic.
Great topic.
But the only issue is this is going to shut down. Come on, Thunder, come back. Just fix your sound while you're on here, or it's going to close.
ENS? Use ENS.
Hey, so why do you white knight in the Philippines, MJ?
Am I a white? I'm a white knight in the Philippines.
Why are you white knight in the Philippines?
No, we were talking about the Puritans, the Puritan white knights in the Philippines.
Nah, no, busting your balls.
Not me, man. I don't open up my pocketbook like you see a lot of these guys. I think that's a big problem here, man. It kind of screws it up. It screws up a lot of things for other people. These
It does, and now that guys are traveling a lot more, it's really screwing it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah.
What did you have for dinner, MJ?
Say again, Gogo?
What did you have for dinner?
What did I have for dinner earlier?
Not munchkin soup again.
No, not munchkin soup. I had some wheat pasta with grilled chicken.
Oh yeah. Which restaurant? Can you tell me?
No, not a restaurant. A gym I go to. They actually make if you want like a healthy meal after you go work out.
Wow.
They make some healthy meals.
Okay, cool.
But I did eat at Jerry's yesterday. You ever eat at Jerry's, Gogo?
Yeah, I think I have. I'm trying to remember what I ate there. I haven't eaten there in a while.
Yeah, Jerry's is good.
What'd you get?
Tuna steak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I love their tuna. Tuna steak is good. The tuna is pretty good there.
Man, you haven't had enough tuna there, and you got to get a tuna steak.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, tuna's the best. It's so cheap here. It's so cheap.
Are you
compared
drinking?
To the US.
Yeah, seafood's cheap. Are you drinking alcohol, or are you drinking just like iced tea and Coke?
I'm drinking water right now.
Okay. Because you're trying to be healthy.
I'm not an alcoholic, Gogo. Come on.
I thought that everyone in this community was an alcoholic. The amount of times I've been on streams with drunk people, I've lost track.
That what happened?
At just about every stream, there's a drunk person on it.
That's what I think the big problem is. That like we had yesterday. I think you had the Munchkin come on, and he was just. You could tell he was. I mean, belligerently drunk. I mean, I know how to read people.